everybody? Welcome to another edition of CxW, the Comic and Wrestling Podcast. I am Jeff, and joined by my illustrious group of Chris, Mac, Bree, and Marcus. Guys, what's going on?
Happy
What's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Well, the day ended well for me. Beat a traffic ticket in court. I was telling Bree offline before y'all joined. I did my 2 hours. I went up to the judge. She was giving deals out like she was the feds and she wanted people to sing. She was giving them deals out, boy. But I had the evidence, you know what I'm saying? I came through. The glove didn't fit, so she had to acquit. And we good to go. So I'm riding that wave into this podcast. It's a good time. We got a lot of good news coming out. Shit, I feel like everybody's having a show this week, a live show. It's been real interesting on the internet the last few days, and as always, stuff picks up right before we record. So let's get right into it. Y'all want to get into this War of the Worlds, or do you want to go straight into the news? I'll let y'all choose.
Well, I mean, I haven't really finished War of the Worlds, but I've read the results. Bit, right? And the only match I really watched was pretty much the only match that's really, really worth checking out if you're not going to be able to watch the show is Will Ospreay and Jay White.
Oh, you mean Vegeta? Bro, yo, let me tell you something. A funny story about War of the World. Shout out to my guy Matt Camp. He hit me before the show and said that he had an extra ticket, but I didn't see it until too late. So shout out to him because that's my guy. He always hits me if he has an in on these shows. And that was one match. I think overall, I will say this, and we'll have a quick discussion on it. It's a solid show to watch. If you like wrestling, you like Ring of Honor, I don't think that you lose anything by not seeing the whole card. I think it was a card. Having said that, this man Will Ospreay, I don't get it, bro. Like, how do you he should be in the NBA. He should be throwing it on people with the amount of vertical he has. That he pulls this move off where he hits a shooting star press for no reason. For no reason. And it's funny I say for no reason given the recent news. But he hits this shooting star press. No hyperbole. He had to have got at least 15, 20 inches off the ground. Probably even more. If you're talking straight verts. Hits that shooting star press on the outside. And I was like, yo, this dude, he's not from this world. He's not. Like, he fights as if we're in Dragon Ball Z and you need, if you're not at a certain power level and you're like, what the hell is going on? And they're like, just concentrate on the movements. They're fighting. You just can't see them. Just concentrate on the movements. Like, this dude, athletically, he's incredible. But, Bree, did you get a chance to catch War of the Worlds?
I did not, but I did get to catch the new Bullet Club member, Marty Scurll, and the ousting, in air quotes, of Adam Cole. Don't forget the baby. So we'll see what happens with that.
Please say the baby.
Don't forget the baby. Yeah. So
I'll say this: the him joining Bullet Club in terms of gimmick, I think is awesome because he has putting the Bullet Club logo on the umbrella. Yo, people have been putting logos on umbrella for a minute, but that's just like, it's like he was tailor-made to fit the template of Bullet Club. Like, he has a gimmick, he has something to market, and now him and the Bucks are the supervillains, which I think is ridiculous. Like, that shit is off the hook. Like, it's funny how they fall into 3-man teams that have awesome names. Like, even with them and Cole calling themselves the Super Click. That shit, it's simple, but to me, I was just like, yo, that makes sense. Y'all are the fucking Super Click. Like, that shit is good. But that
Mount Rushmore with Kevin Owens, you know.
Oh, like, yeah. I remember that. Yeah,
the Elite with Kenny Omega. Like, they have all these 3-man teams that the Young Bucks are a part of.
Yeah,
you know, just add another person. They just have a new creative name.
And the Young Bucks match was good. I liked the Young Bucks match. It wasn't that big of a super kick party. It was more like a super kick mixer. I would call it a super kick mixer, but they're just they're electric, bro. They're electric. Like when they come in, they put on their typical match, but they're wild electric. They're wild entertaining. Marcus, did you get a chance to catch the show?
I did not, but I did. Just like Bree, I did see the whole the new member of the Bullet Club. I'm not interested in what Adam Cole is gonna do, and what's his next move.
Well, we have rolling into that. But yeah, Marcus. So you saw up until not Marcus. I'm sorry, Chris. You saw up until Will Ospreay, right?
I saw most of the show after the Young Bucks tag, but I actually kind of lost interest after a while, and I just stopped watching.
I hear you.
But I watched the Will Ospreay match, and I thought that was really good. Really, I thought it was the best match of the show so far. I've still yet to finish watching the rest of the show, but I did see the turn with Marty Scurll joining the Bullet Club, Adam Cole being kicked out unceremoniously, or the Bullet Club way, and but the whole story behind the Adam Cole being kicked out, apart from him leaving Ring of Honor.
They made like, I know storyline wise, there's been dissent. Like they played the dissent role, right? You could go into it because I figured they did that.
So Adam Cole, there was dissent with between the Young Bucks and Adam Cole, dating back to after Final. No, was it after Final Battle? I believe it was around the anniversary show, where Cole fired, or he claimed to have fired the Young Bucks, but the Young Bucks said that Kenny Omega is the real leader of the Bullet Club, not him. Was supposed to plant seeds between Omega and Cole, but with Cole leaving Ring of Honor, those plans had to change in a way. So they had Adam Cole poison, I believe, Matt Jackson on a YouTube, like they have YouTube videos together, and Cole blamed Marty Scurll, for poisoning him. So the whole time, the Bucks figured out that Cole was the one that did it, and Kenny Omega, of course he showed up on the Titantron for at War of the Worlds, and he figured out that it was a ruse all along, that Cole was trying to destroy the Bucks and ruin them and tarnish Scurll's name, which gave Omega the chance to vindicate Marty and joining the Bullet Club and kicking Cole out in the process. So he's been vindicated and vilified at the same time. So that's when the super villains were created, and Marty Scurll joined the Bullet Club and replacing Adam Cole. As far as Scurll joining the Bullet Club, on one hand, is cool, and it shows that it's pretty cool in a way because he was super over at the Best of Super Junior show earlier today. Like the crowd was just eating everything up that he was doing around the palm of his head for his debut in New Japan. And but as far as the stable as a whole, when you look at the stable as a whole, it's just too many members, and the whole thing is just watered down.
So we're getting into NWO red and white.
To the point you don't really care about it. But if you just think of the stable as Omega, the Bucks, and Scurll, then it's great.
So are we hitting peak Wolfpack versus Black and White levels of Bullet Club?
I think
it's been that way for the past year. So it's been that way for the past year, to be quite honest. But
right.
But because really those four guys are truly the only members of the team that matter, apart from Cody Rhodes. But Cody Rhodes just feel out of place there on that stable.
Yo, I'm gonna keep it real. Just thinking about NWO for a second. NJPW Japan was kind of lit, where they had Masahiro Chono, Great Buddha. NWO Japan, and they had their own theme. The NWO Japan theme was fire too. I was like, yo, an NWO Japan in 2017 would have been fire. Like with the exposure of wrestling now and everything. But even back then, Chono was just like a monster. Like that was like the first time I saw strong style for real. And this dude and Great Muta that's just a legend. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I get that with y'all. At this point, it's almost like if you're an American, you go to Bullet Club. It's like going to jail and having to join a gang. And it's like, yo, I need this protection, so fuck it, I'm gonna join Bullet Club. And they beat you out of the club when you when you leave. It's hilarious. But I do agree with you. It's mad members. But I only count not count, but it's I only look at the ones that they highlight. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell, like, there's tiers and shit. And Cody is just, it's so funny with Cody. Maybe it's a testament to how many years he's been in WWE, or he was in WWE, and just the brand recognition that he is. But even that whenever I see him in New Japan or on the indies, I feel like if you didn't know who he was, you would say, yo, that dude is probably going to do well if he ever goes to WWE, because he can wrestle their style. He has the look. And it's, I don't know if I'm bugging, but he's wrestling the WWE style to me everywhere where he goes, which is his style, right? Like, that's his style. But he does certain things, but maybe it's a Cody Rhodes bias that I have in my mind, because I know him, and you know his moveset, you know what he does, and he didn't come from the indies where and tailor his game. Like, if AJ Styles left, he could be 5-star AJ Styles. He's 5-star AJ Styles wherever, but he could go back to the different style. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing bad. Like, I think he's putting on good matches, but it's not like, I don't know. It's I haven't seen the difference. Yeah, right. Like what I was expecting, but maybe he has to ease into it. He's getting dates, though. That man is working.
Yeah.
He's working. And speaking of him making that shift and going into different promotions, there's a lot of news out. There's a lot of let's dip into this first. So New Japan is making they're introducing a United States title that's going to be crowned during that two-night tourney in Long Beach. I believe that's along with the whole G1 going on too.
Yeah,
right? They're going to do a two-night tourney.
G1 preview special.
The belt is red, so that's excellent trolling on New Japan's part. The big red belt, big red New Japan belt. Brie, I'll start with you. What do you think this means for New Japan and for wrestling in the U.S.?
I think it's dope. Like, it's great that they're going to establish their presence here. I do wonder what it's going to do for their partnership with ROH, but I mean, it can only go up from here, to be quite honest.
Marcus, you said that you didn't know what was going to go on with Adam Cole. Maybe this entices him to stay with New Japan and go after that U.S. title and build it here.
Yeah,
he has options.
I definitely could see him doing that, just because, like, right now, WWE is just so cluttered, and there really wouldn't be any room for him. But and it's just like, it's really great that New Japan is adding a U.S. title, because it's just like, I just feel like pro wrestling in general is just flourishing, and adding that title just adds another layer to it.
Yo, Chris, go ahead, Chris, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I don't know what they're going to really do as far as, like, the United States title once it's crowned. Is it going to be, defended in? I mean, it's going to be weird defending that title in Japan, for one. But are they going to defend it in Ring of Honor? Is it going to be like, are they going to have, like, more shows in the United States for New Japan so that title can be defended?
Mm-hmm.
It's just interesting in a way, it's awesome that, they have a title there, but the fact that they have both an Intercontinental and United States Championship, both really trolling. The belt decides himself are really trolling, the WWE. I don't know. I'm glad it does help get their exposure. It also put a title on a person that is by any means nowhere close to being in contention for the Intercontinental or the Heavyweight Championship, let alone even the Ring of Honor title. So Cody Rhodes is probably more likely, a huge favorite in winning the United States Championship. I'm just wondering, like, how the tournament is going to play out. Jay Leto's going to be a part of it too, I think Kingman Page also is going to be a part of this tournament for the United States title. So it's going to be interesting to say the least.
Couple of things I see. One, that is a clear sign that they want to expand in the U.S. and do more. Clearly, they're going to be in Japan a majority of the time. And you can also defend that on when they do their Ring of Honor shows. Maybe they do more combine shows with Ring of Honor, or just get in the house show game in the States. They could do that. Another thing, it's funny you mentioned Intercontinental. So is their Intercontinental title Europe and Asia? Is it Europe? Is it Asia and Australia? Is it between those two?
That's a good ass question.
Because you can be intercontinental between Asia and Europe, and Asia and Australia. So, but clearly there's the influence of WWE there. But I think it's great. They need to have a plan as to not just add another title to what all the other titles that they have. Sidebar, I think Naito might be my favorite wrestler in New Japan, in the Japanese wrestler in New Japan. This dude kicks the belt down the ramp and throws it away like, I just got like it's a bottle of water.
Yeah, he disrespect those titles. He disrespect all the titles that he win. Like, because he did that to the IWGP Heavyweight title. He would just have it around, or he'll let Takahashi play with it for a bit. He'll like Takahashi will lick the belt, listen to it, or he would carry it. But Naito, he would just throw it around, leave it on the floor, step on it.
It's hilarious. Care. It's hilarious, yo. Like, I love it. He's a great wrestler. He has so much. I love how swag can supersede a language barrier. And that was the first thing that got me with Nakamura. Like, if you have that bravado, that style, that flamboyance, it doesn't matter if you can't speak English or I can't speak your language. It just shines through. You exude it in everything that you do. It permeates through your skin and it hits the fans. It's just something that you can't replicate. Everybody has their own shit, and he's someone who does. So I'm interested. CC, I'm very intrigued by the U.S. title for New Japan. So I'm looking to see what they do with that. That also brings me to an interesting conversation. There's been nothing but conversations going on between wrestlers, or talking about promotions, talking about everything. The first thing that I saw, it was a quick back and forth between Cody and Meltzer, where someone had asked Meltzer, do you think that Ring of Honor could sell out a 10,000 seat venue? And he said not anytime soon. And Cody was like, I'll take that challenge. We could do that, blah, 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 blah. And I actually, I got into a back and forth with a few people online about it, where I'm posing it to you guys because I think it's an interesting discussion. Do you think that Ring of Honor could, we don't even consider it selling out, right? If there's a 10,000, if they are in an arena with 10,000 seats or more, do you think, or we'll leave it at 10K, right? This will be like the wrestling Twitter's $200 date. So 10,000 seat arena. Do you think that Ring of Honor can sell it out? I'll give you my perspective first, and then I'll go around the Skype room. First off, with me, I was saying that knowing those type of arenas and knowing how NXT, and yes, I know it's a WWE machine. Give me that. They sold out the Barclays, right? And clearly they structured the Barclays different. Right there too. I believe they sold out the spot in San Antonio also, right? They structure it in a way where they don't open up every seats, because every event in an arena, and I think this is what the point that a lot of people were missing. Every event in every arena doesn't allot the maximum amount of seats. It's structured differently. They build it differently to seat who they think is going to come. Now, stadiums are different because the seats are there. It's either you fill them or you don't. But actual arenas can be built to accommodate the amount of fans that you have. So, for example, you'll see it a lot of times where I've been to pay-per-views, I've been places where they have seats that you just don't fill because of the way the camera and equipment are set up. So they put a tarp over it, or like a black tarp, or a sheet or a cover, or they just angle it so that those seats aren't going to be used. So to me, I do think, at least I can speak in terms of New York City tri-state area, I think there's enough indie wrestling fans that if they put War of the Worlds, even including New Japan, if they put War of the Worlds in the Barclays, I think they could sell it out. Yeah, it would take a year of marketing and they would have to push it like it was an album coming out, where they're saying the release date every single waking moment they have. But I do think there's enough fans that if they charge whatever price, or charge a good price, same price as they're charging, they can sell it out. Now, we can get into the whole aspect of how much it costs to rent the arena and all those other fees. But in terms of just, do I think they can pack out a spot like that? I do. Marcus, I'll go to you. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think ROH can sell out. I don't know if they can sell out Madison Square, but they can sell out a 10,000 seat stadium, especially with the right talent. Now, I don't think a show with Cody Rhodes would sell out just because
Cody Rhodes as a headliner.
Yeah, then that's not that's not going anywhere. But I do think if they have the right talent, if like Cody Rhodes was like the B side or like the co-main event, then they can sell it out. But like independent show starring Cody Rhodes, like I don't think that's happening.
I could understand. You know what? You tell somebody who's been in WWE for most of their wrestling life that they can't sell out a 10,000 arena. I get it why he came off that way. It's like I used to drive a dollar cab, like a Continental type car, and you telling me I can't afford that, but because or I used to drive Nissans, and you telling me I can't afford a Continental, like, yo, what sense does that make? Like I that's a downgrade for me. That's cake for me. So I can understand why he may be a little jaded by that, but it's still an interesting discussion. I don't know if he took it as, if I'm the main event, we could sell it out. And he probably did, but I just think about overall, depending on the right talent, the right marketing, it can be done. What do you think, Bree?
I think that they could do it, like you said, if it was like a War of the Worlds type of event. But if it's just them on their own with their current roster, I don't think it can be done. Ring of Honor has, to me personally, been really stale lately. And it's not due to lack of talent, it's just lack of excitement and lack of storyline. So, if they were in conjunction with another wrestling company, of course they could sell out something that's 10,000 plus. I believe that they could do that easily. But if it's just them by themselves, absolutely not.
Chris.
Hell no, they can't sell out $10,000. Man, 10,000
Tell me why.
arena. Because especially like what piggyback to what Bree said, it has to be very similar to what like World of Worlds are, or with having New Japan talent. It has to be like the elite guys in New Japan being at the top of the card too. You gotta have Okada Omega 3, like at Barclays, where they can have like a 10,000 seat arena selling out. Yeah, even then, I don't think they can get that close to it. It's possible though, because New Japan sold out instantly for the Long Beach shows. Those are only like 2,000 seats, and they're adding more seats to it. They're going to try to accommodate even more. But as far as just the guys on their own, no way. Have you even seen Cliff Compton, the former Domino, of Deuce and Domino, SmackDown fame? He tweeted that Cody Rhodes. He tweeted verbatim. He said Cody Rhodes said that he could sell out Madison Square Garden. And he said this guy's out of his damn mind. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. I don't see. As much as I like Ring of Honor, but yeah, the product is incredibly stale lately. And you look at the guys that are on that roster alone, No, I just can't see them really selling out. At least going or at least getting up to 10,000 seats. 6,000 probably. More than likely, yeah. But it's 10,000. I just can't see it, man. I really can't.
So
like, they really
not
have
impossible.
To have the best of the best there,
right?
To like sell that show out.
So not impossible, but improbable, highly improbable. I'll say this:
highly improbable.
I do agree, and that's why when he sent that tweet and I tweeted back at Cody Rhodes, I said, if it's War of the Worlds, I think y'all can do it. I don't think Ring of Honor can do it as Ring of Honor. And if we're being brutally honest and we're keeping it real, Cody Rhodes, I don't know of a time where he headlined a show in WWE, and I know I can be wrong, but the fact that I would have to dig into the recesses of my memory to say, oh yeah, he's headlined or been main evented Raws and SmackDowns. I know he's done that, whether it's been part of a tag team or Evolution or any of, not Evolution, what is it, Legacy. Right? Two fire themes, by the way. But if it was like Legacy or something like that, or I remember when when Randy Orton RKO Dusty, and they thought, and then after he was on their side, when he RKO'd Dusty at the end of Raw, and Cody was just like, damn, like what the, like he was torn because he's like, yo, this is like we're heels, is what we do, but that's my dad. And I remember that, but in terms of, he never headlined WrestleMania. He never headlined. I can't remember a pay-per-view that he's headlined. So for him to say I could headline a show and sell out MSG, yeah, I shoot for the stars, brother. Rumble, young man, rumble. But nah. And even looking at Ring of Honor's current roster, Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels, I'm not clamoring to see him to go to Barclays to go see Christopher Daniels fight Jay Lethal or something like that. I think they're good wrestlers, but that's why you have to respect the WWE and the machine that they've built and the rationale and the method for how they build these events, why you need star power, which is why you see the old heads come back for WrestleMania, because they got to sell these stadiums out or get damn close. And the star power and the recognition helps. And anyone who says that's bullshit, I could tell you when I was at Royal Rumble and I'm walking in San Antonio, I feel like everything is walking distance, which is amazing. I'm walking from my hotel to the arena where they're holding the Royal Rumble, and I overhear people talking about it was Goldberg was in it, Lesnar was in it, you know that. One dude flat out said, "Man, if Goldberg and Lesnar wasn't here, I wouldn't be going to this shit." And I'm not making this shit up. Like I remember I heard that and I was like, wow, this they not bullshitting. You need this star power. Like I get it now. I get it. What Ring of Honor roster do you think could do it all time? Like when people
all
were
time?
there, when whoever was there, who do you think could have sold it out?
2006 more than likely. If it had the attention now.
Right. Attention all the same.
Definitely 2006.
Who were some of the people that were there?
Bryan Danielson.
Right.
Some guy like that. He was the world champion at the time. You had Samoa Joe was still around. Christopher Daniels, Generation X of Austin Aries, Roger Strong, Matt Sydal, Chris Hero, Claudio Castagnoli, who's Antonio Cesaro.
Right.
Was
Punk there? Was Punk there at that time or nah?
Kenta Marufuji, Kenta Kobashi was around. They were in heavy ties with Pro Wrestling Noah at the time, so they were able to get Kobashi and Masawa, Takeshi Morishima.
Was Punk there at the time?
Guys as well. At that time, I think Punk was leaving. He was already signed to WWE.
Right.
By mid 2006.
Around there, but if that because I couldn't remember what year it was that roster was stacked. Like that was back in the day when I was first hearing about Ring of Honor, and then people were seeing the clips and shit, and I'm like, oh, this shit is they're getting to it, and they had a lot of talent.
Golden age of indie wrestling right there, because there's a lot of great talent that made name for themselves now in WWE and in TNA. So the Motor City Machine Guns were a part of that time as well.
Right. So, speaking of indie wrestling, y'all man's Randy Orton is at it again. He's at it again.
Oh my!
No, that's he belongs. That's Clandy Orton.
Oh man, All Lives Matter. Orton is doing it. So for those of you who've been under a rock the last week, Randy continues quite possibly the best non-kayfabe heel turn on social media by a wrestler ever by going at indie wrestlers. So he retweeted a tweet where he was talking about the indie style. I got where was it? Where he was saying what he originally was saying. He basically was calling out the pattern of which a wrestling match goes, and which was BS or whatever. But I'm not gonna lie, I laughed when I read it because it sounds like the classic WWE fan critique of indie wrestling, and he's been saying stuff like dive all the time, referring to wrestlers jumping out of the ring for no reason. Of course, he called everybody broke boys in his follow-up apology, which you gotta love, right? Because you can't have a valid critique if you're broke, according to a lot of people, and it set the internet off. Him and Bully Ray got into it. Ricochet, of course, got into it. A few other people. I don't know. This is y'all man's. Chris, talk to me. What do you think about his comments?
It's whatever. I mean, Randy Orton. It's weird. It's very interesting that he will say something like that, considering that some of the best guys that he's worked with lately in his career has all come from the independent circuit. Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, AJ Styles, just name a few recently. His best matches were with those guys lately, and those guys, and they when they were working in indies, they really weren't doing all the shit that he was saying, as far as like super dives all the time. Now AJ, to an extent, he kind of was, but as he grown, more in his career, he was a little bit more, more methodical and added a lot more psychology into his ring work. But Randy Orton, he is a boring wrestler at times. And when he's working with those guys, he's not boring. He's actually working hard and looking good. But if the Chicago crowd wasn't already going to shit on the match with Jinder Mahal, they're really going to scare the shit. Because now it feels like Orton is going to deliberately, intentionally have a boring match. And the Chicago crowd is going to like they're going to tear them apart. Like that match is going to fail. I'm just calling it out right now. That match will be a failure at Backlash between Mahal and Orton, with the crowd and how it's going to be paced, because Mahal's not that good of a worker. Orton, as solid as he is, he's very good, but he's very boring at the same time. And it's just ass backwards, with his comments. And then Bubba Ray Dudley had to come in involved, and now that just made everything twice as hilarious. Considering that Bubba Ray is also All Lives Matter guy, alt-right dude, and and he's defending the indie guys, with dies, and then Orton's calling him a has-been. Keep in mind, Bubba was just there 6 months ago.
Right.
He's out calling him a has-been. And I'm like, damn, man, this shit. This shit is stupid. Like, I'm not even like, I'm not concerning myself with it as much, because I'm like, whatever. He has a right to his opinion and whatnot. He's entitled to it. But I'm calling spade a spade. I'm like, he's offending also guys that are his peers that work with him.
Which I never understand.
That scene.
Which I never understand, because it's when guys say stuff like that. The first thing I always say is, do you say this to the people that you work with? Do you say it to people's faces? Because it's easy to pop off online and say all of that, but especially the type of environment that WWE has. It's like, yo, do you say this to the people that come to the indies, or do you consider them they're quote unquote one of the good ones now because they're in WWE? Just to read off what the joint that he retweeted, some dude, he had it in Notepad and took a screenshot. This is what he said. Every indie match now. Handshake, drawn out move exchange, this is awesome chant, strike exchange, dive, no sell indie strong style, dive, more strikes, no selves, dive, flippy floppy sequence, dive, hit everyone with each other's finisher, then Humpty Dumpty, we all fall down. Fight forever chants, rinse and repeat until every move is useless and means nothing. Dive, take a safe shot that looks like shit and hurts like hell, then roll up finish. Handshake and hug after match. Everyone's hands raised. All these guys chant. Go home and type on social media thanking your opponents and company for the match and telling others they should book these guys. And then a billion ellipses and at the end dive, which is why Orton kept saying dive, dive on social media. Bree, I'll ask you, does he have a point? Does the person that wrote that have a point?
The person who wrote it has a point, but Randy really has no business retweeting it because he needs to work on his own matches.
He can say it, but they can't say it.
I wish his matches were that exciting, to be honest. But I've been sick of RKKO for a while, so he's been in get off my lawn territory for actually a couple of years now. But he's just a complete hypocrite. Like, he's acting like he had to actually work hard to get to where he is. And he doesn't appreciate that indie wrestlers have to go through so much shit to even get that acclaim and get that glory that they're getting. So, yeah, shit on the little guys all you want, but they work 10 times harder than you ever will.
Oh, and let me also add into that. They do those same type of matches in NXT too, by the way.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just to get that,
exactly.
which is a WWE machine. So
Uncle Hunter ain't stupid.
What is the truth here? What is the truth? Where's the tea?
Uncle Hunter ain't stupid. He already knows, let these guys do what they do, but then teach them the WWE style. Because that's really what it is. For the established guys, it's learning the WWE style and tailoring it to what you do already. Which is the smartest shit that you could do. Like, you don't gotta break your neck for WWE, but you can still do the cool shit that you do. Just do it in a safer way and do it like this and do it like that, and just put that WWE on it, and you can still be nice. To your point, Bree, can I tell you I was pissed as hell? I copped Randy Orton's shirt because the last one that he had the fire logo. And that All Lives Matter shit came out the week after I got the shirt. I was sick.
Ooh.
And I had a streak, too, because I bought a Hulk Hogan shirt, a Hulkamania shit.
Oh,
a couple of weeks after that, that shit happened. I mean, that's my childhood,
Jeff, we
though.
just need you to buy
that's my childhood,
and then expose people.
Right. It's an expose. If I buy your shirt, that's why I'm scared to buy a Kenny Omega shirt, because I don't want this guy to come out as like a skinhead and then all the skulls make sense and shit. But But yeah, like, nah, but Hogan, that was my childhood. That was my favorite wrestler. Like, who knew? I mean, we knew, but who knew? You thought, because we have this talk all the time as black wrestling fans. These guys who come, they be on their redneck shit. They come from the deepest south and they wrestlers and stuff. This is the good old boys club. Like, I'm not expecting them to be progressives. You feel me? I just expect that you at least at the least be tolerant. At the least be tolerant. At the most, don't be like, at least you work with those people. You do all of that. Like, just understand. You know what I mean? Like, it's just at a certain point, I feel like you're going to have your thoughts. You're going to have whatever. But you got to, it just don't do no dumb shit. Don't let me buy your shirt and then you come out as a fucking Richard Spencer and shit. Marcus, what do you take from this?
Nah, it's just because I agree with Chris that Orton's best matches have been with indie guys the past few years. And Orton really has just been like phoning it in since like 2010, really. Right after I feel like right after the his feud with Kofi Kingston, he just like stopped caring. And then he takes like these extended breaks for like months at a time. And I don't know, he is like a huge hypocrite because he didn't have to like work hard to get into WWE. Like all he had to do was just like fail as a Marine, and then I can just go to my dad's job. And that's his story. And so for him to like not respect like indie guys is like a slap in the face to not only like what he does, but it's a slap in the face like all the inspiring like wrestlers out there, like some of the young kids who like look up to him. They're like, "Oh, Randy Orton did this, and that," but he really didn't. And so it's just like that's like I don't know. It's like mad problematic to me for him to just like say something so rude that so many people do, because I this is a whole different like subject, but it's a lot like white privilege and we're in wrestling. So like he basically had to like he got in. That's it. But like he didn't have to work hard. He didn't have to like go. He didn't have to wrestle in the gyms or try out all multiple times. So yeah, I just think it was dumb altogether.
I just don't get. I mean, maybe I do get the hate, but I just think it's pretty stupid to do that. But there's a part of me that says Randy Orton knows what he's doing. Ever since that shit over him saying the shit about Kaepernick, like he is the king of the ironic tweets where you think your shit don't stink, but that's because your nose is clogged type tweets. Because this dude, first of all, no one who goes AWOL should ever talk anything about veterans and respect veterans and do all of that.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. You can't no. I don't care who was I don't care if fucking G.I. Joe was your father. You should not say nothing about no veterans if you went AWOL and talking about Kaepernick and all that. And the same thing with the indie guys. Like, come on, dog. You a legacy wrestler. Like, these dudes actually, they did a lot of work to get to where they're going. And you know what? Not for nothing, people like the indie style. People like the WWE style. I'm with Ricochet on this where, it's all wrestling. Just like there's different genres of music. There's sub-genres of music. Everybody's going to have what they like, and it makes the whole better. So, but he knows what he's doing. He knows what this trolling is doing. Did you see that pic with him and Drew Gulak with the no-fly zone?
Yeah.
And that's like a triple entendre for him. Yeah, you cover xenophobia, you cover diving, you cover all of that with him. Which is why, and I'm like, does Drew Gulak know what? Does Drew Gulak, is his third eye open, and does he see what's really going down? But if Orton does a suicide dive in Backlash, that would be the best troll ever if he does some type of dive, like some type of dive.
Speaking of trolling, Will Ospreay responded to Randy Orton too during the Best of Super Juniors match with Marty Scurll.
What did he do?
He had Scurll down. You know Randy Orton's pose before he goes for the RKO.
Oh, when he's
beating on the mat, slamming it down. That's what Ospreay was doing. He was slamming, pounding his fist to the mat, beating it down before he prepared to go for the Os cutter. So it was hilarious. He normally would troll and respond in the ring in a way, because he did that with Vader as well, and now he's doing it with Orton. So
I remember that.
I don't think Orton will really give a fuck, but we won't know until Backlash. So it would be funny to see him try to do some type of flip though.
The It's Vader Time joint that Ospreay did, like that dude is like, he's an artiste. When he does shit like that he's a legit artiste. I love it. But yeah, man, he knows what the fuck he's doing. So that is what it is. Moving on, Io Shirai accepts offer to join WWE. Another Japanese wrestler. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know much about her. I looked up footage when I saw it to see why it's a big deal. She looks like the real deal from the stuff that I've seen. But a lot of times, the one thing I will say about wrestling as opposed to basketball when they talk about all these European players and you see the hype tape that they create for them, you think they're Jordan, and then they get in the league and it's like, yo, where's all the stuff you was doing on the hype tape? And it might have been from like 5 games and shit out of their like 40-game career, but wrestling, you can see a hype tape of wrestlers and know what for the crux of what they have, and seeing her, I was like, okay, yeah, just keep building NXT up, I guess. Were any of y'all familiar with her?
One of the best wrestlers in the world, period, man or woman.
Nice.
Period. So, and she was at the, really with her and Kairi Hojo, both of them are leaving Stardom to head to WWE, and she was the ace. Like, she was the top star there in that promotion. To see both of them go, it's a big blow for Stardom. They still got Mile, Iwatani, which is who she's really good too. Mm-hmm. But still, it's just like that is devastating because those two were anchoring the ship when Asuka left for WWE, and now they have 2/3 of Triple Tails. That was the stable name at the time, which features some Asuka, Io Shirai, and Io's sister Mio, who retired a few years back. And it's you give some equals to Asuka now. And now you wonder how long Asuka's actually is going to be there in NXT now, because obviously they're going to come in. Those two are going to come in and fill her void whenever she does leave for the main roster. But it's also possible that she could stay a little longer to work with those two, whether it's against them or as part of a stable. So, I'm really down for it. She's great. She's just as attractive as Asuka too. So, I'm here for it. Kairi is too. So, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. And, there's the thing that, I see that, with the success of Asuka, especially being a Japanese women's wrestler, a Joshi wrestler, so to speak, they have to tread lightly on how they book Io and how they book Kairi coming in, because they made Asuka look like a complete monster. These other two be looking just as good, if not better. And and especially the seriousness Japanese media take with pro wrestling there, and especially with their women, they have to look like straight up killers, and it's going to be quite the sight to see going forward with the women's division, and how they book all the women in general, especially with those two coming in.
All right, well, it looks like NXT gets stronger and gets even more stronger. They keep getting great talent. I think it's awesome what they're doing, and I'd love to see NXT eventually build up and just be its own brand, and not look at going to Raw and SmackDown as a call-up, but just changing brands. When it gets to that level, WWE is really gonna have something. So I'm looking forward to getting to know her work and see what she does. Let's see what else we got. What else we got cooking on the dossier? Eva Marie not returning to Total Divas. I am crushed. I'm absolutely
that was obvious.
crushed. Yeah, she's been out for a while. Fun fact: I was out last month. I was in a wedding. I was at a wedding in LA, and she was there. She was a friend of the bride, I believe, and it was just wild. Like, I'm like, yo, Eva Marie's at a wedding. This is like peak Kevin Bacon for me right now. That Eva Marie's at a wedding, but
how?
Nah, come on, dog. You trying to get me shot out here? Relax. But yeah. So it's funny. Like we just haven't seen her in a while. She looks like she's still in great shape, because I think you out there, you in LA, you doing all that other stuff. You gotta be there's no out of shape unless you just don't do that shit no more. But she seems like she's still in shape. I don't know what the hell WWE's doing with her, or what they're doing. Her and Summer Rae, it's like, yo, Summer Rae is still in WWE, but she doesn't even appear. She goes to WrestleMania, she does all that stuff, but she hasn't been in the mix. I don't know if she has an injury or whatever she's doing, but she's living her best life and she's still affiliated. So who knows? Maybe she got one of those like those talent deals where she does appearances and stuff like that, and she doesn't have to wrestle. But it's just weird to me with her. They're looking to replace her possibly with Charlotte and other people. That franchise is a machine too. Total Divas, they keep it going. Like I actually think it's been great for exposure for the women superstars on that show. Because I know I have women who talk to me about Naomi and the Bellas, and they're interested in what they do in the ring because they connected with them on Total Divas, which is ill. Power of reality TV, and wrestling was the first ever one of the first reality TV shows. So that going hand in hand, it makes a lot of sense. So I'd love to see what's eventually going to go down with her, because I felt like she got heat, boy. She got some wild heat. So I don't, I think there's something that can be done there, but who knows?
And do you think it's possible that that WWE start considering bringing in their NXT women for Total Divas? Just to give them more exposure as well, prepare them for eventual call-ups.
That would be a dope idea.
I don't think they do that.
That would be a dope idea, but I don't know.
I can see them doing that, oddly.
I don't know. USA and VH1, it's USA's people, but it's a VH1 show. I think part of the appeal is drawing people to Raw and SmackDown, like that casual fan. Maybe it could work in the sense of maybe people would buy the network if they could see those NXT superstars, but they already have it on USA, which is free for them to watch if you have you have the cable package or whatever have you. So maybe that I don't know how much of that comes into play, but that would be smart for them, even if it's something like, all right, this week we're going down to Orlando to check out some of the NXT women and see what's up with them, and then make them part of a storyline. Marcus, you don't think they would do it? Why?
Just because it's just, even though they're in NXT, there's really no guarantee that they'll be on the main roster eventually. So that's a huge risk. So I don't think they'd risk risk just putting on, here's our developmental wrestler who may not be here in a year or 6 months. So that's the main reason why I think they wouldn't do it.
What about Did they have that with Mandy Rose though? Was she part of Total Divas?
She was part of it.
Who's that?
Yeah,
oh yeah,
NXT.
that's right.
I don't see her on TV at all.
Honestly, if I'm VH1, if you're appealing like that, I could give a fuck if you don't make it in WWE, because we could make you a star. You know what I mean?
Right. And with the women's tournament coming up, it could be an even bigger field from them to pick from if they do choose. So I think they could do it.
Yeah, but listen, options are always a good thing when it comes to that type of stuff. So I wouldn't put it past them. I could see why they may be reluctant, but I wouldn't put it past them to do it. One interesting thing in wrestling news that I saw was Cena was doing an interview with Sports Illustrated, and he had a theory on why the fans boo Roman Reigns. And it's a pretty interesting theory. I never thought of it in the way that he said it, but I'll read it to you guys. He says, I'm not going to take anything away from Roman. He handles his business with the utmost professionalism. He's doing it on his own watch. He's not one of those guys that comes over to me and asks what happens next. He's doing it his way, and I think that's the best way to do it. He's not trying to be the next John Cena, but he is being the only Roman Reigns. And that's why it's met with so much adversity. I can tell you from firsthand, because I know I wasn't trying to be Stone Cold or The Rock. I was John Cena. That was met with adversity from people looking for the next Stone Cold or the next Rock. That's what creates the dichotomy, the polarizing environment. Here's my take on it. I would say yes and no to that. I don't think that that's the reason why people boo him. I think it's more so in the fact that it's funny. I think it's the opposite. I look at it a different way. I think that it is because they're trying to make him the next John Cena or Roman Reigns, and they push him to the front because they see that he has that ability to draw, that ability to be a lightning rod for the crowd to react. And when he gets those pushes, a lot of the quote-unquote marks or the smarks, they can see that when somebody's being force-fed and they don't want it. So it's natural for them to backlash. Because I can't really think of anybody who was shit.
No pun intended.
Right. No pun. I wasn't even thinking of that. That's like a mid-grade dad joke right there. But I wasn't even trying to do that. Think about somebody like Dolph Ziggler, right? You could argue that he is trying to be the next Shawn Michaels. You can make an argument for that. And fans have reacted positively to that. They've been lukewarm to him on that. He's gone heel, he's gone face, he's done all of that. But if you ask me, who I think he's trying to quote unquote trying to be like, to me it's obvious that he's taking that Heartbreak Kid mold, as opposed to someone like AJ Styles, who I do think is in that mold, but he's fucking AJ Styles. That's the difference. He's AJ Styles. He's unique. That's what he's doing. So I think where Cena saying that they're reacting for him being unique, I think they're reacting for the perception, because of the perception that he's being force-fed to us without us embracing him naturally, which is what we were talking about the other week about Braun, right? About how the injury could probably help him because it was getting to that point. But I just think that people just love Braun at this point, like an old school love the big man who's demolishing people, that it may not get there, but it was in danger of getting there. So that's my take. Bree, what do you think on that?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I mean, the reaction to Roman is just because he's really being force-fed to us and it's not happening organically. So, I don't know. I can't.
Damn, you thought it's like you act like I asked you how to balance a
huh?
No, I was saying you sound like I asked you to balance your budget right now at the moment and with no preparation. You like, oh.
Well, the thing is, it's like everyone's trying to come up with a theory as to why Roman isn't getting over, and it's just because he's just not getting over. Like, it's not for lack of talent, not for lack of interest, because he definitely has that and he has his own fans. But I mean, to try to say, oh, this is the exact reason why he's being booed or he's not being embraced because of this, it's kind of ridiculous. So, I mean, it is what it is. He's just not organically getting over, to me.
Well, I said it before. To me, the opposite of love is indifference. It's not hate, because hate is the nega version of love, and it's an equal. it's like the mirror version of love, and it's an equal amount of energy and fervor that you put into loving as you do into hating. So if people didn't care, they just wouldn't cheer him. They would do other shit. They would be silent. So the fact that he gets the reaction he gets, like Roman is money. Roman is money, and whatever they do with him, he's going to do what he does. But I don't think that it's because he's trying to, because I don't think he's trying to be anybody personally, which is good. But I don't think that even if he was trying to be the next, I don't know who, I don't know if he was trying to be the next Rock, it would show, because he would be doing Rock-like shit that just looked like somebody imitating the Rock. I think Roman Reigns is his own guy, and I don't think that he's I don't think that if by not getting over you mean fans don't majorly cheer him, look at Cena. Cena is one of the most over people I've ever seen in my life, and it's getting to the point that the John Cena sucks chants to his theme you can equate it to Angle now. Yeah. It's like that. Like when he what was the match? Was it he won the title in Royal Rumble. Whatever that match was. Oh, SummerSlam. When he lost to AJ Styles and he walked off, the fans legit, it was like they were torn. It was like, we should be clapping for this man. Like when they stay in the ring afterwards. Like a good portion of that crowd was giving him that respect clap, like how Benoit would stand and wait for it. when Benoit, after he loses, he stand and look around, and everybody cheers him like, oh, yeah, good job. And it was like that respect. Like he was getting that respect. So It's an interesting theory, though. I will say that. I've never seen that before. Yo, background.
What's that?
One of y'all had that. One of that had that on.
That was my phone, dude.
Huh?
That was my phone. Hold on.
All right. Marcus, what do you think? Do you think that that's more to Roman being himself or other factors?
Nah, I just think he just needs a good heel turn. I feel like they dropped the ball with him, like still being a baby face after Mania. Like that Raw after Mania, when he just like took the boos from the fans, and then I forgot what he said, but like he just walked out the ring.
This is my yard.
Okay,
this is my yard now.
Yeah, this is my. That's it.
That was his best promo ever.
Like,
that was his best promo ever.
And he had to. And if they would have just kept it like that, and Roman could just like turn into like this killer who's just destroying everybody, but instead, I know he eventually has to go back to the championship scene, but like let him like give him. I feel like a good heel turn is what will help him. Same thing with Cena when he was like rapping and then he like went heel. That was like refreshing, and then like people got bored of it when he went back face. But like I feel like a good solid year or two of just heel Roman and he'll be over.
I could see that. I could see that. Maybe it's one of those. Maybe the way they're trying to make him like John Cena is to say, "Yo, we'll just have him toe the line. He'll be like Cena. He's not a Cena's a straight face, but the reaction is 50-50. So just leave him as a face because if you turn him heel, the majority is going to teal it, but you might have to flip the other way, where the kids might hate him and the grown-ups will love him. So maybe they're trying to emulate that. But I do agree, if he was to turn on somebody or do something like that and really go on that, like just like how Taker had a heel streak, if he were to go on a similar heel streak, I think that might be beneficial. But that man still gets one of the biggest pops, whether it's boos or cheers, of anybody on the roster, any brand. So they're doing something right. But I just thought that was something that was pretty interesting for Cena to say. All right, let's get into these pay-per-views and this other news. First off, heard the news about Brock. We were talking about that earlier, but now they're saying 2 to 6 months that he's out, and it's looking like Braun, yeah, and it's possibly that he'll return for SummerSlam. So I don't know how much of it is kayfabe versus actual news in terms of his elbow, but more than likely looking at SummerSlam for him to come back. But we still have great balls of fire to deal with. No pun intended. We still have great balls of fire to deal with. And they put the Fatal 5-Way out for Extreme Rules. Seth, Finn, Joe, Roman, and Bray. So that's going to be their Fatal 5-Way to determine who's going to be the number one contender to Brock Lesnar. So out of these 5 guys, I'll start, Marcus, I'll start with you. Who needs to win this match? Who needs to win this match and why?
Who needs to win?
Who needs to win? Like, who
Finn?
needs to face Brock and why?
Oh, who needs to face Brock?
Like who needs to win the most out of the for this match?
Oh, Joe.
And why you say that?
Just because I want to see a Joe versus Brock match, and Joe really is the only believable guy who looks like he can actually take on Brock.
Okay. I wasn't expecting any Joe votes, but Marcus, you pulled that one out. I'm not mad at that at all. Okay, cool. Chris, who do you think?
Joe was my pick too.
Okay, all right. Maybe I'm the minority.
I say that because there were initial plans to have Joe face Brock and Joe come in as a babyface, and there was also plans for Bray versus Brock too. So those are still on the table. I know that they were also looking to have Finn Balor or Seth Rollins get a shot. They thought about doing Finn Balor for SummerSlam. Excuse me. that's likely. But I could still see Joe being the guy. Because if one is unexpected, and two, I mean, he's really been running through the whole roster apart from that fluke finish with Seth Rollins at Payback. And it's a new match. I mean, it wasn't like Braun was going to be a face going in the Great Balls of Fire against Brock Lesnar anyway. So it's all right to have Joe be a challenger to come in and face Brock. Brock still. I mean, because Brock Lesnar, he's like what Kane was or Kane is. He could blur the lines and go on either side, anytime, anywhere. Whatever the situation may bring itself. And and plus, it just looks like an awesome match. On paper, I'm not sure if it's going to deliver very well, but it would just be different. And they could save Finn Balor for later. And I don't know what they're going to do with Roman going forward because it's like they're putting him in a title picture, but they want to keep him away from the title picture right now, which I don't understand. You might as well just do Lesnar and Roman now, apart from saving that match for WrestleMania, because that's truly the end game is WrestleMania for Roman and Brock Lesnar.
What do you think, Brie?
My pick is the general consensus. I'm going with Joe. I initially was going to, well, when I was Raw, I was thinking, oh, this would be dope for Bray versus Brock. But then I thought about it, and we just know that Bray's going to lose. So he's just going to do a bunch of mystical match, and it won't matter. So as far as believability and having a really physical and great match, I can definitely see Joe and Brock having a better match eventually. But what I'm more excited about is the promos, because Joe is such a clean promo that I think it would actually force Brock to speak instead of Paul Heyman to speak.
Mm. You guys make compelling points. You should have been lawyers in your former lives, yo. I'm telling you, I should have been lawyers. That felt like I was in Law and Order for a second, where you give it the opening statements. I was gonna say my person who needs to win the match was gonna be Bray, because the fact that you said, Brie, we all know he's gonna lose. To me, that's why he needs a win, because they're wasting him. They're wasting him at this point. He goes into these feuds, and we're like, well, he can't win that because this person needs to be built up. This needs to happen. That needs to happen. And we're looking at it objectively because we understand the psychology of what they're doing. But Bray 2 years ago, I would have believed in to beat Brock. But now they take the title off of him. They do all of this stuff. I don't know. So if Bray wins and they make him lose against Brock clean, he's a waste. I low key would be like, I wouldn't be surprised if he was eventually leaving WWE after that. Because it's like, what else is there, like, for your character? What else can you do? What else can you do?
We just don't believe it anymore.
We cannot believe you anymore. You can't turn face. I don't want to see a face cult leader. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see a face cult leader. You don't want that. Like, what else is there for him to do? Having said all of that, y'all Joe pick makes a lot of sense. If they make Bray win, he cannot lose against Brock. Like, he just cannot. For the sake of his character, he cannot. But then again, why should I believe Bray is going to win when the man couldn't even finish RKO at the House of Horrors and he lost the belt under a month to Randy Orton? Like, why would I believe that? Why would I believe his Sister Abigail ain't around? So any extra power he would have got is kind of funny money anyway. And we're going to go straight storyline. So I don't know, but Joe versus Brock is something that I would want to see. And I think, to you guys' point, it's something that WWE could do and just get away with. Just like how they fed Kevin Owens to Brock in Japan or wherever they were. Similar to that. And you could build something good. Like the Destroyer is coming to destroy the Beast. And there you go. There you go. Easy money, and that will be that. So, yeah, I'm down for Joe. Anybody else, it's going to be a waste. Finn can't face him now. Seth, why? Roman, if you're giving him the title now, fuck it. Roman is like the fuck it pick. Yo, fuck it. You're just gonna put the title on. Like that's like the fuck it pick, and not even a disrespect to him. It's just like that's a testament to the confidence that they have in him. They'll just be like, yo, fuck it, put it on Roman.
Yeah.
They're gonna boo him anyway. Fuck it. He'll beat Brock. I mean, he was supposed to beat Brock anyway before they put it on Seth. Well, just give it to Roman. Just give it to Roman and let him really usher this era in. So in terms of need, probably need and want, I'm down for Joe. But if Roman wins, he has to win the title. I think if he wins, he has to win the title. If Finn wins, it's a waste. Because if he beats Brock out of nowhere, coming off of it's unbelievable. Fans will still pop for it. We know that. Fans will still pop, and we'll talk about the problematic nature of it later. But yeah, you know, I'm down with you guys. Are you guys supportive of the Titus brand right now?
I kind of like it right now.
Titus brand or Big Baller brand? Who you got?
Big Ball.
Shit, it's always Big Ball. Goddamn. You know, I'm LeVar Ball Hive every day, all day, 24/7, 365. Man, you know he's doing the damn thing. You know, and I hate how Fox Sports is treating him wrong. You know, with the shit that they're trying to pull off, subjugating him as a misogynist when he was just trying to protect his family.
He had a part in that too. If I knew that there was a nest of vipers, I wouldn't go in there without clothes. And he does that a lot, you know, especially when that nest is like the hive of all nests of vipers, you know. But I don't even know if snakes have hives. Fuck it, they have hives for now. Somebody wants to correct me, put me out there. What do a group of snakes called? That's gonna be your homework for the evening. But yo, I'm not gonna front when Cruz did the quick. Like, I guess you could consider it a heel turn. No, you're not considering it a heel turn.
No.
So wait,
I just see him be like he was just annoyed by Enzo. Enzo Amore is an annoying little dick. Okay, and that's his gimmick. Like he pisses people off, whether they're a face or a heel, and you know he just, it was just Cruz just getting him the fuck out the ring.
Here's something interesting. Yeah. That was the textbook. Whose man's is this situation? Yeah. That was whose man's is this. But it was rhetorical because you know whose man's that is. That's Cass's man's. But he gave him the look.
Let him get beat up. He's like it's like Jazz getting thrown out the house every day, you know, on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And Will's not going to do anything about that. That's how it was.
Bruh, yo, Cruz's face, we've all made that face at one point. He's like, yo, whose man? Like, you taking a self, whose man's is this? And I kind of popped for the insecurity or whatever that he hit him with. And I was laughing because I was like, yo, let me find out. This they might, I'm not gonna lie, if they build the Titus brand kind of like LeVar Ball, like if he was like LeVar Ball, he could have something. He needs to just get all the marginalized, like all the wrestlers whose gimmicks are so, and you come to the Titus brand, and all of a sudden you have personality and you have this. He should get them sponsorship. Like he could be what Abraham Washington would have been if he didn't wild out. Because Abraham Washington, he kept it real. That was keeping it real goes wrong. Like, bro, they gave you outs, and you were like, "Fuck it, I am what I am." But yo, I dig it. I didn't think I would, but I liked it. All disclosure, that was the first time I popped for Cruz in a long time. So they may have something there with the Titus brand. Have Apollo come out in a non-tailored suit so that it looks like he bought it off the rack and shit, and he's trying to get accustomed to the brand and whatnot. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. I'm down.
All right, man. Because during that segment, you know, he was reluctant at first. Coming to the ring with Titus because he was telling him the entire time that Titus was the one that had the match, but Titus kept running his mouth apparently all throughout the show, and you know he kept stayed in the suit, and the suit was just like throwing his arms up in the air, trying to tell him the whole time that he's not going to be able to wrestle it. But obviously, it looks like it does. It's like as the weeks go on, it's going to be a play on the Big Baller brand now, with Titus running his mouth and Apollo being reluctant and just following along. But he's still unsure, but he's down for the ride because he wants to have success.
Yo, and I also shout out to Titus too, because his play on Enzo's and Cass's intro. Yo, when he did the Enzo dance, I started screaming. I was like, yo, you could tell this dude has fun what he does. Mm-hmm. Like you could tell he has fun and he likes what he does, and I love to see that shine through. So shout out to the Titus brand. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. All right, let's get into these pay-per-views, special events coming up. So NXT, first off, it seems like one thing I like about NXT, it's kind of clean how they set up their feuds and their matches. They get right to it and then just promote the hell out of it for whatever pay-per-view or event that they have coming up. Let's see what we've got. I think it's real smart that they're defending the UK championship on TakeOver, so it actually gives us some interest into what they're doing. You feel me? Like, you said, Chris, earlier that they're doing a UK Friday special or whatever have you.
Yes.
Too, which is good because I feel like these guys are wrestling in their indie promotions in Britain, and then to get a look at them since the tournament is going to be cool. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen Bait. I've seen Bait wrestle once since that tournament, and Pete Dunne, from what I saw in the tournament, he's dope. Where do you guys think this one is headed?
I really want Pete Dunne to win the title because I feel like he's like the best guy. Like as far as that UK brand goes, he is the best guy hands down, and he should be the one that's carrying the championship and carrying the title. And having guys like Bait and Trent Seven chase for it, Sam Gradwell, who's really not ready. But you got Mark Andrews also. You got three baby faces already right there chasing the title. For Dunne, because there's not too many strong heels, if that, on the UK side right now, and Pete Dunne should be the guy that's just like have the title at the moment. But they just did their tapings for the show, and they have Bait defended the title twice on there, and the number one contenders match as well. So I don't know. That might fuck everything up, but I really hope Dunne still wins.
Yeah, me too.
What about Pete Dunne can definitely carry the UK championship. I mean, he has the personality, he has the swag, he's a complete heel. Like, it would just be dope for him to carry that title, and see what they do on the new UK TV show that's coming up.
Right. I also find it fabulous how much William Regal in storyline, like, he despises Dunne, but solely for the fact that Dunne does exactly everything that Regal has done in his past career.
Right.
That's what makes it perfect.
It's like, yo, Regal, we didn't forget, bro. Like, you are a dastardly individual, bro. Like, you were like the Jack the Ripper of wrestling at one point. Like, come on, man. Like, one of the dirtiest players in the game. But it's dope. I love it. It's funny. All of the other championship matches, Roderick Strong and Eric Young should be solid too. I think that's going to be a solid match. Good opener to have, and everything else.
They announced that match?
Huh?
Yeah,
I'm on WWE.com right now, and they have it. Rod Strong is facing Eric Young, so that's a good opening match because everything else is a title match. And to me, all of this is like call-up watch to me. You got Authors of Pain and DIY in a ladder match, which I think that shit's gonna be sick because these like Authors of Pain, they do some strong ass shit. Like I still remember when one of the dudes picked up, I think it was Johnny Wrestling. Like somebody was in a submission and dude picked up another one and dropped him on top of dude to break the submission. And I never saw that shit before. Like, I legit never saw that type of shit before. I was like, oh, these authors are paying guys. I think they still need to do work in NXT, but I don't see any reason for them to lose the title. And DIY has been ready for a minute for the call-up. So unless y'all guys think any different, I think the champions retain. Like they're the ones.
You better have those reinforced ladders, man. That Big Show needs, because
they need to.
You know, seeing the author's opinion trying to climb that shit, it's gonna be hilarious.
They're gonna have to do the spot where you're holding down the ladder and you're acting like you're not holding it down, like you're resting on it, but you're actually holding it down so people can walk. I love those spots because it's like, yo, it's like I appreciate you for not letting me bust my ass and putting it into the storyline. Yeah, I mean, I see these guys retaining. They and shout out to them. Like NXT's tag division at one point was the best division out of the three brands to me. And if this is the send off, finally the send off for DIY, it would be dope. It would be dope to me. The NXT Women's Championship defending in a triple threat: Asuka versus Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross. This shit looks like it's gonna be lit too. Once again, I really don't see a reason for Asuka to lose unless she's being called up. I don't know why she would go up now, because given the way the women's divisions have been building up and how they're shaping right now. But to me, once again, I think it's Ann still for her on that part. Bree, what do you think?
Honestly, I think I could see Nikki Cross winning this one. One, because Asuka's already broken the record for the longest NXT Women's Champion. And two, she's been working the SmackDown house shows. So we could see her getting called up as well. And Nikki Cross just seems like the better of the two between her and Ruby Riott to hold that title right now. So I think my pick is going to be Nikki Cross on this one.
Okay, cool. Marcus?
Yeah, same. I agree. Nikki Cross, because she is better than Ruby Riott. And yeah, it is. I don't know, like it is cluttered on the main roster, but I do see if Asuka was going to drop it, I definitely could see Nikki Cross with it. It just sucks that Amber Moon got injured, but yeah.
Right. Well, Chris, you see it any different?
Asuka's winning. What I've heard lately that Ember's injury was more or less a work, and she was going to be out of the match to begin with, just to play off the fact that she has need a one-on-one shot with Asuka because she's yet to prove herself. So Asuka's still going to win, and we're going to get at least one more match between her and Ember at Brooklyn, and Ember will win the title there. I just don't see Asuka leaving the brand anytime soon. I don't see her getting called up just yet. They're still playing out stuff on SmackDown, which we'll get to later with the Backlash talk, and with the women's division there. So until then, I'll give it until after SummerSlam until Asuka really makes an impact on the SmackDown brand.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing for me, is that if that Ember Moon joint was really a work, then they still have unfinished business to get to. So that's one of the main things with me picking Asuka. But NXT can't surprise you. That's one thing I do like about them. You do gotta watch because NXT can surprise you. All right, Bobby Roode and Hideo Itami for the NXT title. I'm glad to see Itami healthy and getting back to it. I love his line where he said, Chicago's the best place for Roode to go to sleep or some shit like that. I was like, oh, he's lit. They're gonna be lit for him in Chicago because everybody's gonna want to see the go to sleep. And he might hit it and get a no sell out of it. But once again, I could see Roode losing but staying in NXT and feuding with Itami, because I know they're building up Aleister Black and they're building up a whole bunch of other people that could be in line for the title. But this is another one where if one title was to change that night, it would be the UK Championship out of the three. To me, I don't see it for Itami now. Given what I've seen at NXT over the weeks, I don't really see it. I could be wrong, But I don't see it like that. What do you think, Chris?
Nah, man, he's just another challenger right now. Because he never really got his shot going forward. Since he's been injured so many times, and, he's getting it now. And Rude's going to beat him. And because they're grooming Drew McIntyre to be the guy to get the shot at Brooklyn, and he's going to go and face Bobby Roode. But it still should be a good match. Like I love Roode's matches with Nakamura, and I'm sure this match is going to be very good too. I know Tommy's going to be working his ass off, just try to prove himself that he can still go at a high level. And but I just don't see it for him winning the NXT title. I never saw him winning the NXT title, even when he was healthy. So, should be good. And Rude, I like the belt on Rude more at this point. And him and Galloway should be an interesting feud. Or McIntyre should be an interesting feud going forward. I mean, but yeah, like you said, the NXT title picture is very, very strong at this moment. To the point that I like you saw me, I tweeted that they should do some type of tournament for like the new number one contender or so, because it's just too many guys right now.
Which is a great problem for them to have. And Tommy and Roderick Strong had a dope match on NXT. I don't know if that was like the number one contender match. I think it was a number one contender match, and they had a dope match. So I'm looking forward to it. Bree, what do you see out of this match?
I think Hideo Itami's going to come out of this one the new champ. One, because it's really his time. Like, due to his injuries and all of that, like, he's had so many setbacks. It's definitely time for him to win. But also, I may be of a different opinion of Bobby Roode, and I hate to say this, so don't hurt me, Marks, but I'm kind of over him. Past his entrance, this is okay. It's Bobby Roode.
He's Triple H in the ring.
I completely understand that.
See, that's the thing about glory. When we find it, we don't really understand it until we fully embrace it. Only then can you fully be glorious. Like, glorious isn't something that you get easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's through trial and tribulation. Bree, you see, but you don't believe yet. And I don't think Bobby will shun you for that. He will embrace the moment the harps and the pianos play, and you hear Mama and them in the gospel choir. You'll be fine. You'll be fine, and it'll embrace. But all jokes aside, I get what you're saying on that. I get what you're saying. He's someone who I think he benefited from WWE juicing gimmicks, because that was like the perfect gimmick to give him, and regardless of what he does in the ring, like that's just like, it's like certain people is just all you gotta do is not mess it up, and you can get over, and that's what he did. Marcus, what do you think? You got Rude or Itami?
Yeah, I definitely got Rude. Itami just isn't that guy. Like, he's a great worker. Well, I wouldn't say great worker because he's always injured. But I don't know. He just like doesn't have like what it takes to be that it guy in NXT. And Rude is mini Triple H, so I do see him going over. I actually see him keeping the title for a while. Well, I only see him keeping the title until Aleister Black wants it. Or even if Aleister Black doesn't want it, I see him dropping it to McIntyre around SummerSlam. So I do. So yeah, I just don't like. It's just gonna be like, I agree with Chris. It's just gonna be another challenger. Yeah, and Itami just. I just feel like Itami's not ready for the championship, and he gets hurt too easy. He gets hurt too much.
That's a very good point.
And Jeff, what you said about the NXT roster, especially their NXT title scene, having a great problem. Aleister Black and Cassius Ohno are not on the takeover card.
Right.
And, they're already getting pushed pretty heavily. So it's very interesting to see what they're going to do. I'm pretty sure they're going to be like, having matches on their, taped, episodes for the Chicago show. But I just find that really interesting. That neither of them are on the main card, especially Aleister Black, who's primed to be pushed to the goddamn moon. So it's just very interesting.
Word. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you guys. You guys are expert analysis individuals. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Don't be buttering us like that, man.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not gassing you. I'm not gassing you, my G. I'm not gassing it. I'm not gassing it. But let's go into Backlash. Backlash this Sunday. Pretty solid card. Now that I almost got my Boston on. Pretty solid card. So, I don't know where that accent came from, but yeah. Looking at it now. Once again, SmackDown's been doing their thing, and I think this is going to be pretty entertaining for what I see so far. Just going up, scroll, get into deeper conversation. Ty Dillinger takes on Aiden English on the kickoff show. No reason to think why the Perfect 10 isn't going 3-0 there. Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, again. It got added recently, but that's another good, solid bottom of the card match. It's good to see both of them come into their own, but it's Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. It should be solid. Nothing really built up, but they have cult withdrawal and they're taking it out on each other. So we'll see that. Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn. That should be a solid match. I think that match is going to be pretty solid, but that's something that they've been building up on. And if I'm not mistaken, have Corbin and Zayn faced off already? Like on SmackDown and shit?
NXT, I know for sure. They
on
NXT.
Yeah. And, Corbin and Orton should make a stable of people who hate the indies. It should be an anti-indie stable of Corbin and Barry Orton, calling them and the club calling them nerds and shit. But yeah. So Corbin and Zayn, I once again I think it's another solid match that's going to go down. Who knows where they're going to go with it? I'd be surprised if Corbin loses. But those are good, three good undercard matches. I guess you could consider the card is really going to set off when we get this 6-woman tag match. Naomi, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch versus Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina Snuka. They've been pushing this whole welcoming committee and how that all has been going down. I like the fact, I've always been particular about champions not defending their titles at pay-per-views and being in a tag match, but this is pretty smart in terms of they have beef and they got to settle the beef. Like, fuck the title, we gotta go there. Marcus, I'll start with you. Who do you think's coming out on top of this one?
I definitely got the faces coming out, but I do think there's going to be a lot of feuds that are going to be set up, a lot of individual feuds, which is I'm excited about. But I see Charlotte, Naomi, and Becky Lynch getting the win. But I see because there's been reports on a dirt sheet how they're unhappy with Charlotte. So I believe immediately after they win, I can see like Charlotte just like attacking both Naomi and Becky Lynch and getting the heat back. And and I also see Lynch and a feud with Lynch and James Ellsworth, because they were going back and forth during the contract signing this past Tuesday. So I see that as well. But yeah.
What about you, Brie?
I think the heels are actually going to win this match. And kind of similar to Marcus's explanation, Charlotte's definitely going to go rogue, but I don't think she'll wait until the end of the match. So I've got the welcome committee winning this one.
Chris.
Yeah, I have the welcome committee winning. Especially when he said that there's going to be a few splintered off from here. Carmella should be in line to be the next challenger now, considering that she's pinned Naomi twice in 2 weeks. And I would be surprised if Naomi teams does win, is Naomi pinning Carmella again. But if Carmella gets another pinfall on Naomi in this match, she's in line to have a title shot. I'm pretty sure she's going to still have a title shot on SmackDown. next week. But yeah, she's pinned Naomi twice. So that's more than guaranteed, that she should have a shot. And eventually Natalya should get one as well. But as far as Charlotte going rogue, I just don't see that happening right now. But we just need to see how things play out. Because it looks like the Charlotte and Naomi match is still on the table as well. But as far as like Charlotte going back to being a heel, I'm not too sure about that. She might just be a tweener for all we know. It just be a heel when she can, but also work as a face as well.
Right. I can see the faces going over. What do they call this? The Powerpuff Women and shit. I can see them. I can see them going over. I think if they lose,
that's what they're called.
No, they IGing each other and they coming up with cute names. You know how women do. They're like, oh girl, we Powerpuff Women. It's a lituation. Okay, we gonna get them this Sunday. That's an actual quote, direct quotes and shit. But I think if the heels win, some funny shit is gonna go down, which is gonna set up everything else. But I don't know if that's gonna go down now, like what you said. So I'll just take the faces because why not? We're not betting money on this. Tag match with the Usos versus Breezango. I'm actually really, really interested in this just because I love what both teams are doing. For me, I don't know why you would take the titles off of the Usos now to put them on Breezango. I expect a great match, but I have the Usos coming out on top because they've just been money these past few weeks. And whoever it is that's next to take it from them, I think it's going to be a build-up to it. That's all I got on the Usos.
Well, we already know who's going to take the titles from them. We know that already.
Alphas? American Alphas?
New Day.
Oh.
New Day. Like as soon as they return, they're going to dominate the entire tag division and take the titles there. But because we've yet to have a New Day Usos program where the roles has been reversed, with the Usos now as the heels. And
that's going to be a great program, dog.
So
that's
going to be a great program.
Now, so that should be a tremendous feud heading into SummerSlam. So definitely the Usos are winning this one. It's just a match to give Breezango an opportunity and to showcase himself. It's more of a make or break for them, but they aren't winning the titles for sure.
Yeah, I think a strong showing from them would be dope. Like they've already got some shit popping with that Fashion Files thing. Like they just got to keep it going and just stay strong. Bree, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the Usos are definitely gonna keep it, and also I'm excited about that feud with New Day because it's basically just gonna be a feud built on Twitter roasts. So I'm here for it.
That's all
I want
it's
the
gonna
Usos
be.
to keep it.
It's gonna be a roast session every week. Like it's gonna be like, boy, if you don't.
Basically, you can see that hand right there.
I just see the hand. That's gonna be the whole tour. And they're gonna go in on social media. Like it's gonna be no holds barred. Like
oh, yeah.
Dudes might have to start censoring themselves and they get too comfortable around family and shit. Start letting them curses fly. And it's like, yo, chill, PG. Marcus, you see anything different?
No, I have the Usos coming out on top. Just because they have been excellent in their turn since becoming heels. But one thing I will say is that I did not, and their promo was good on Tuesday, but one thing that rubbed me the wrong way was that they were like proud to be inmates, and like it's cool. Like I know they're bad guys now, but I was just like, I don't know, guys. Think that one went too far. But I do get it because fashion police. And but I was just like that one part. I just like it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But yeah, I do have the Usos coming out on top.
Let me find out the Usos are your problematic faves now. Oh man, I hear you though. I hear you. All right, Nakamura, Ziggler. Does anybody think Ziggler's winning?
No,
like for real, like in real life.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. On a scale of 1 to eBay, how much is Dolph Ziggler going to sell in this match?
He's going to sell like Amazon on Prime Day, man. Everybody gets all their deals basically, Black Friday.
Black Friday?
The next day. get their packages the next day. He's gonna be selling like damn.
Like the mid?
Like
he's gonna be selling like the mid.
selling like the mid. Gonna be selling like the next Avengers movie that drops. He's gonna be, it's just gonna be off the charts, man.
Yo, I'm
here for him. 130 million the first week.
He's going to make Nakamura look like a fucking like he's powered by the gods. Like Ziggler is going. Yo, I think that's Ziggler's vocation from this point forward. Like we could get into the ring with Ziggler right now. He'll make us look like the second coming of Bret Hart. Like straight technical wrestler. Like he'll make me seem like I can lift 400 pounds. Just like and what I love about him when he sells, it's not oversell. Like only Dolph Ziggler could sell the way Ziggler sells without being like how Rock got stunnered and almost hopped out the ring. And his legs was touching the top rope. Like when they used to like super duper sell the stunner. But he sells the way he sells without it looking like it's overselling. He's going to make Nakamura look awesome. And that's I think that's a great first match for Nakamura to have on SmackDown. And it's good for Ziggler to get a rub too as a heel and really like come out on that, yo, I've been here. Nobody's taking my spot. It's my time type thing. But I think it's going to be a dope match, and I can't wait for. Yes, Ziggler's going to be selling. He's going to be selling like somebody put the polo code on Twitter, and it was 50-60% off, and we getting these chandeliers and shit. It's gonna be awesome. U.S. title match: Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. This one intrigues me because I don't know where it's gonna go. I have no clue where it's gonna go. Bree, what are you thinking?
I'm like you. It could go either way. But I think Kevin Owens will retain. AJ is definitely meant for higher ground. Maybe he'll take the title from Randy Orton soon, but I think KO retains just to keep up the gimmick of being the face of America.
What about you, Chris?
Well, I mean, this match should be good here. I don't think AJ's winning yet. I really feel like Owens should still keep the title going forward. They can stretch it out going into Money in the Bank and keep AJ and Owens completely away from the ladder match, and they can have a rematch going forward there. While Nakamura, Money in the Bank, that's a discussion for another time. But that's going to be very interesting seeing how they can keep Nakamura and AJ Styles away from each other, and despite the fact that you have a pretty thin roster of guys that are legitimate challengers for the title.
Yeah, because even if you think about it, right? If I'm the number one contender for the U.S. title, why wouldn't I be in Money in the Bank?
Yeah, that's it's going to be interesting to see how they play that out.
Unless Nakamura
Styles
has a random
and
feud,
Owens should be in the match,
right?
For sure. But you can't. But it really. Did you really want to put Nakamura in the Money in the Bank ladder match though?
That's another thing. That's what I'm saying. He's probably gonna have a random feud again that takes him out of Money in the Bank, or they do something where they can explain him away. I don't know, but it's interesting where that's a great problem for them to have. Another great problem for them to have. Marcus, what do you think?
Yeah, I think KO is gonna win by disqualification or a count out or something, and so they do have to have another match at a Money in the Bank. And I think although AJ will lose, he'll look strong because he's AJ Styles, and just seeing these two together in WWE is gonna be super dope, and I expect a great match.
Yeah, I think it would be smart to keep the title on Owens just to have him continue to be the whole face of America. He just lost it to get it back. So would it make sense to drop it again? But then again, who knows? But I see him retaining as well. I think that would be the smartest thing to do. Or it would make the most sense to me. Now, the WWE Championship with Mr. I Hate Indies versus the Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. Yo. Yo, could Mahal win the? Yo, I want to see it happen. Fuck it. I want to see Jinder. I don't care. I want to see Jinder Mahal win the title. Fuck it, yo. What else do we have to lose? Like, keep it at 1,000. What else do we have to lose? Give the title to the Maharaja and let him cook. Fuck it. Yo, be like Brock. Yo, Brock don't gotta defend the title. Why do I? Call your Indian privilege out. Fuck it, yo. Let's go full force versus the xenophobics and put the title on Mahal. Do I know if that's gonna happen? I'll just call it. Fuck it. I want to see it happen. I think Mahal's gonna win. Bree, what do you think?
Yeah, gotta give it to Wellness Policy Mahal. Like,
allegedly.
Well, I didn't say whether or not he passed or failed.
Oh, but he is getting checked.
On that wellness policy.
He is getting checked.
But I honestly, they've written themselves into a corner to where they have to give it to Jinder, and just let him fly or fail. That's the least that they can do, because Randy is not doing a thing for this title. So Jinder's got to win, especially in Chicago.
And they have extra protection now that the U.S. title is being elevated like that, where they can experiment with the WWE title and not really have to worry, in my opinion, because you got Kevin Owens and AJ Styles fighting for a title. That title's going to be money. It could be the hardcore title. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. Chris, who you got coming out?
Man, I would love to see Jinder win, but really I just can't see him really winning. As much as it pains me to see, that the Hardbody Mahal and Handsome Rusev won't get that big, colossal grudge match that they need for the championship. I have Orton winning, but his reign sucks.
Oh yeah, this reign is trash.
Yeah, his reign is ass, and for Jinder, this is make or break for him. I mean, he had a fine. I mean, I've yet to really watch SmackDown, so I had to check this match with AJ, but I heard pretty good things about it. He does pop the crowd, and he wins in Chicago. The crowd, like I said, I already said it before. The crowd's going to shit on this match, regardless. So I don't know, it's just like I'm going with smart money. I'm going with Orton,
I hear you.
But as far as that title, that title needs to change hands fast. So we need to put that on Nakamura ASAP.
Somebody's got to get it. Marcus, who you got coming out of this?
It's gonna be a pretty boring match, because Mahal isn't. I don't want to say he's not a good worker, but he's not that skilled in the ring. But I see why they did write themselves in the corner. I agree with Bree, and I do hope that they put the belt on Mahal and have him just be like a transitional champion. And I can't even remember in recent memory, but has there ever been like a Middle Eastern WWE World Champion in the past few years?
Well, if you're saying the WWE, the title that's called with the name of the promotion, I think Great Khali had the world.
Okay.
Great Khali had the world. But there has been a Middle Eastern world champion. I mean, Iron Sheik. Clearly. I mean, yeah, if you're going to throw it back.
I mean, that's the last one I can very remember.
Like, for real. Iron Sheik and Khali.
Yeah.
Really, it's been now.
I feel like they should. I feel like they need to put the title on Mahal and just have Orton, go on like his 6-month vacation. But yeah, just have Mahal be the champion for the summer until or even SummerSlam, and have him lose it to Nakamura or AJ Styles.
Yeah, it's. I agree with Bree. They've written themselves into a corner. I mean, either option stinks, but you know, I'm always down for something fresh and new. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. That's it is in terms of our Backlash and our NXT Takeover Chicago predictions. Pretty light on the comics news front this week. Couple of things. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had their season finale, which was dope. They're moving to Fridays along with Inhumans, which coming out September 1st in IMAX, followed by their release on TV. So the first 2 episodes, I believe, are going to be on IMAX, and then they're going to release them on regular TV. Fridays usually have been the death slot for a lot of shows, but the fact that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and shows like that make their money on DVR and DVR Plus, that bodes well for them, and I think the fans are going to follow them. One other thing that we had, I know, Marcus, we were talking about it the other day, Black Panther and the Crew has already hit cancellation after 2 issues because people don't buy the books. And this was something that was co-written by with Ta-Nehisi Coates and others. It's an extension of Black Panther's comic. And the one thing I would say to everybody out there is if you want characters, diverse characters, or good stories, if you read the books, buy the books. Because waiting for the trades, downloading, or doing whatever it is that you're doing isn't going to help. When these books do abysmal in sales, and it doesn't matter if you're white, brown, green, or orange, or fucking from another earth, you have a book that stinks, they're canceling that shit. And I saw people who wanted to go with lazy narratives about, oh, this is what Marvel does and blah, 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 blah. When you don't read the books, you don't buy the books. You can't be upset at something that you don't check for anyway, but the people who are checking for them, if you're reading, you should support, if anything, to see how the story unfolds and see if you actually like it. Because if it stinks, you don't have to support it. But let's chill a little bit on the indignation of a minority book being canceled when you're not putting your money up. And I speak as somebody who puts their money up on a weekly basis. So that story was something, and these are not just stories that are written by minority people or whatever. These are stories that hit home, stories that we can relate to. And this is stuff that people have been asking for, but you know, if you don't buy the books, it's not going to happen. So I implore you guys, if you out there, if you're reading the books, buy the books, support the books, and don't fall back on getting them later, because if they don't see an initial push, it's not going to happen. And furthermore, if you did like those books, continue buying up until issue 6, make a push, have them see that there's money in it. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe it'll entice them to do something else, because it's never over. If something's making money, they will make it. So that's about it on my end. I don't know, Marcus, did you want to say anything on that?
Oh yeah, first with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and that finale, bruh. I was just speechless how they ended up in they ended
don't
up
spoil.
in
Well,
space.
don't
My
spoil.
fault.
Don't spoil. Relax. Give generals.
My fault. But yeah, that was this was probably my favorite season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. They rocked out this year.
Yeah, they really like flexed this season. And once again with like Black Panther and the Crew, like it kind of disappointed me that that it's already canceled 2 issues in. And I was thinking like, dang, at least with Nighthawk we got at least like 4.
Which should tell you how bad those sales were.
Yeah.
If they would cancel a book written by him, who's already ready writing Black Panther, like that means it stank, bro. Like it stank.
Yeah, and I like, cause I read the first 2 issues, so I kind of get maybe why, cause Ta-Nehisi, he's still like, he's a good writer, but I see how his like style may turn people off at first. But like the end of the second issue was like super dope. I was like, oh, I gotta get the next one. But yeah, it kind of sucks that it's just gonna be like a limited series now. I hope they make it ongoing, but probably not.
Yeah, well, it's like I said, It's a shame, and this could happen to anybody's book. So if you like it, and that goes for anything, right? If you like it, support it. If you like it, support it, and don't complain when you see it canceled and say, "Oh, they're taking our books." You ain't buying them shits. That's how they took it. The fuck. And shout out to you, Bria. I'm gonna check out that Wicked and the Divine too. I want to check it.
Another Wicked and the Divine dropped today too.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not woke yet, but you see, the gloriousness is gonna overcome me and embrace my soul and provide me with the motivation to spend my dollars and be a Wicked and Divine stan like y'all are. So I'm ready. My body is ready. My body is ready.
Come join the Pantheon Hive.
Right.
Join us.
I'm ready. I'm ready to like book club it up and all that shit. So we'll see. We'll see. Anything else from you guys before we sign off?
Guess who got Injustice?
Word?
Nice.
Talk to me.
Do you like it?
Justice 2.
Is it lit or is it lit?
Yesterday. It is very good. I love the story. It took me a while to get back into the story of it, but it's dope. Right now I've already beaten the first part of the story mode, but there's awesome alternate endings and alternate scenes that I've yet to get through. So I'm going to try to get through that as well for the next couple of days. But it's cool, and it made me think that when we talk about really with like the DC film universe and how is it just starting up, and there of course here's a lot of it's polarizing and how it's being received. I really love it probably is more, there's more leeway given with video games, and also, even though I have yet to finish watching some of the television shows like Flash and Arrow, and Flash, at certain points it feels like they jump the shark, but they get back into it, so I have to catch up with it. Their storylines are a little bit more intriguing than there is in the films, and again, it's only been about 3 films now, so I want to see as it develops and and we give it time to breathe, that they will add something like what we see in Injustice, part of the like in the movie film franchise. So as far as like Superman, becoming a little bit more vicious and volatile, and starts looking above humanity and looking to be more orderly and governing over it, and just start killing people. Because that's how he is here in the games. It makes me like him more because I always found Superman to be pretty bland, growing up. And and just seeing that the shift in his character in an alternate universe, I find it more intriguing in a way.
Yeah, I was thinking about copping it too. It plays it. Mortal Kombat's people make it, right?
Yes. It's developed by NetherRealm Studios and Unreal.
Noob say bots.
Unreal Engine.
No doubt.
So they work on the game. It looks good. I feel like they really still put more time into their Mortal Kombat games, of course, because that's their bread making franchise right there. And but it's still fun. I enjoy the characters. There's a deep roster on here. They still have DLC with like 10 additional characters to be downloaded, and there's extra skins too that will if they did have space to put the DLC in there for the characters, you could cop some of those characters to alternate skins. So you can have Reverse Flash, from the Flash, selecting him, and you could just get his alternate skin, and it'll have his dialogue and his mannerisms as well and everything.
Yeah, that was something. I was in GameStop the other day, and they were talking. We were having a big talk about Injustice, and it was a storyline really more than anything, because they did come out with an Injustice comic. I just never got into it, but I heard that it was like vicious and it was dope. Like it was a dope alternate universe. So that's something that I wanted to. And they had, I forgot who was writing the comic for Injustice. It was somebody. Damn, I can't think of it.
Tom Taylor.
Tom Taylor. Yes. He was on All New Wolverine before and all of that. He's a great writer. So I wanted to check out what he was doing on Injustice, and I got to get back into the fighting game mode, because the thing is with me in fighting games, I want to fight against people, so it's like I got to go online and then have these 12-year-olds call me nigga and shit. Like, I'm ready though. I'm ready to go. But yeah, but seriously, it's the story mode alone would want me to play, because I'm just intrigued by that alternate ending. I mean, the alternate storyline, alternate universe. So yeah, thank you for reminding me that. There goes my money. Bree, Marcus, anything else?
No, I'm good.
They're like, I'm good, bro. I'm good. We talked about everything today. We talked to everything and then some. So it's another good episode. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm done too. You can catch us on social media at Nonstop Culture everywhere. If you want to subscribe to the podcast, and I know you do, go to nonstopculture.com/subscribe for all your subscription needs. iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud. We are everywhere. You got a question for the Mark? Send us an email, info@nonstopculture.com. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. We want to know what you want to hear. We want to know how you feel, and we will read them on the air and give you all that salute that y'all earned for leaving that review. So that's it from us. Thank you again for joining CxW, and until next time, we'll catch you later. Peace.